I grew up in a neighborhood where there's boys on the corner every day selling drugs. And I walked to school, which is like, hey, you might not make it around the corner. So, you know, basketball is a way for me, for me and my teammates. Well, if we do good in high school, we can go to any college we want to out of the state.
When I play ball, it's just, that's my happiest point. Anytime you give me a basketball and give me a rim in the court, can't nobody tell me anything.
I had a cousin, and he used to play with the guys. And I wanted to join in and play with him, but he was like, no, man, she's a girl. So I just went along, practiced by myself. Look at me now, I'm coming up there. I'm trying to make my goal be true.
I want to go to the WNBA. Right now it's a dream, but it could be a reality too, because I think I can make it if I keep working hard.
What time is it? They're playing
Pick it up. Turn around. Pick it up.
For 35 years, Coach Dorothy Gators has run the best girls high school basketball program in the country.
Gotta wait for the screen.
The Lady Commandos of Marshall High School have won 8 state championships and 30 city titles. The 64-year-old grandmother has turned generations of girls from the streets of Chicago's West Side into champions.
We got to play between her and the ball.
From the beginning, her cramped gym in the basement of the 110-year-old school has been a place where hoop dreams really can become reality. Gators' basketball program has been a pathway to college for hundreds of girls many would have written off. Girls from the projects like Kim Williams, a super talented basketball player, but she could barely read when she first came to Marshall.
Prosperous and famous, she was finally married to a minor clerk in the Ministry of Education.
Gators pushed her both on and off the court, and Kim became an honor roll student. And girls like Cappy Pondexter, who came to Marshall confident Gators could make her one of the best players in the country.
I'm with the best coach in the state. She's gonna help me improve my game.
Cappy goes right at Wendy.
Cappy and Kim are 2 of 5 WNBA players and 18 college All-Americans to come from Gators gym. Many more of the girls have gone on to become teachers, social workers, nurses, police officers, and coaches themselves.
When I first got here, I think it was the first year she really started up. And it's no joke, I wasn't the greatest kid, you know, but I have to give everything I got to Dorothy, because if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be in trouble, locked up somewhere, because I knew if I wanted to play basketball, I had to go to class.
It's a good opportunity because these kids will go into college and play at some level. But you know, when you get kids who are committed to athletics, whatever is happening outside of that arena can sometimes take on a lesser importance than what we're doing. All right, I shouldn't have to have this conversation again, right? All right, you want to be the manager? Okay, well, ball's in your hand. We'll see.
During the upcoming school year, we're going to follow Dorothy Gators and the Lady Commandos on and off the basketball court. We're going to watch as she tries to shepherd a new generation of Lady Commandos to college and win a 9th state championship.
Stop talking, because you're being disrespectful to me and your peers.
Through the eyes of Gators and her players, we will also watch as Marshall High School undergoes an intensive school reform program. Will it be enough to prepare the Lady Commandos for college? Girls like 17-year-old Epiphany Woods.
Well, I grew up in Lathrop Home Projects. I take 2 buses here. Fix it! And I decided to come to Marshall to play basketball. Jump! Get it up! Same thing, get it up. Come on, you gotta find your rhythm now. You done lost it. Get it back. You gotta want it.
The very first time I came here was in the summer. You know, I come here thinking I'm finna kill, you know, thinking ain't nobody better than me. And I must have played the girl that was already here. I mean, I looked like a kindergartner.
Don't change nothing, that's it right there, that's your rhythm.
When you go through things, such bad things, it motivates you to, you know, get away from that. So you go harder at what you're good at, so you won't have to, you know, go through that anymore. I just want to be the best, so I try to put the work in as much as I can.
Get it out, get it out. Good shot.
No one in my family that I know of went to college. No cousin, no uncle, brother, nobody that I know ever went to college. And for me to go, to be the first person in my family to go, I would be proud of myself.
It's never been easy at Marshall, but the journey for this group is much more difficult. The neighborhood around the school is poorer and more violent than ever. Last summer, one of the Lady Commandos was killed on the west side, the first time Gators ever lost a player to street violence.
It hurts.
Marcella Johnson, a backup guard, was fatally shot. She had been one of Gators' special projects. By the time she arrived at Marshall, she had already lost her mother and 2 older brothers. Back when she was 15, she told us about her life.
I have to raise my little brothers now. I have to be the mother to them since my mother passed. So I gotta do the best I can, be a role model for them, and let them know what's right from wrong.
Marcella played 4 years of basketball at Marshall, graduated second in her class, and earned a scholarship to college.
The things that they have to endure. Coaching is kind of like a sidebar now. I've always treated my kids as if they were my own kids. And the same goals that I would establish for my kids, I have for them as well. And so when I say my kids, I really literally mean, my kids. Nobody said it was going to be easy. It was easier for me when we first started than it is now. So I either had to accept the challenge or go in another direction.
With 940 wins, Gators is the most successful high school coach in the country. She's had lots of opportunities to move on to more lucrative jobs, but she's refused to give up on Marshall, even though by last year, many others had.
I call it a gladiator school because they fight when it get hot out, they in the street, they spilling out. 8, 9 squad cars have to come there. And I wouldn't feel my child would be safe.
A lot of bad things, a lot of bad students in there, but you just gotta overlook that. Police be around the school, so nothing be scattered.
Times when there was 30 students and only 2 books. Some classes had only 1 book, some had none.
It's really scary, because you never know what's going to happen. I call it G. It teaches me a lot, like self-discipline, self-respect, not to deal with or getting affiliated with none of this nonsense that goes on around here, like gangs and having sex. She's like a second mom to me, but after my mother. So, she's always there for me. I love being around G.
I've always considered this home. I went to school here. This was my first teaching job. I've always enjoyed it. For me to go to a suburban school, I don't think that I would have the same sort of emotional attachment to the students that I have here. Maybe, I don't know, but I just felt that I was feeling a need greater, and that goes beyond basketball.
In 2010, Gators' basketball program literally saved the school, or at the very least, gave it a reprieve. The Chicago Board of Education was about to close Marshall down. The average ACT score was just 13, the lowest in the city, and half the students didn't graduate.
The Commandos of Marshall, long live the Queen!
But because the Lady Commandos have been such a point of pride for this neighborhood, it gave Marshall one more chance. The high school is now beginning a 5-year turnaround program.
Remember, the underneath is if there's no pairs.
An educational SWAT team was sent to the school. The principal and all of the teachers but Gators and 2 others were fired.
The rigor is going up. It's dramatically increasing. We're not accepting low standards.
The school received new books, technology, and after a century, Marshall finally got a real campus.
The kids are learning a lot more. They're more engaged. Teachers, for the most part, are doing a fabulous job.
Like last year, we had teachers who just give us a worksheet. Wouldn't teach us how to do it, just give it to us and expect us to do it. But this year, we have teachers that care about the students and care enough to teach us.
Is it enough? Can a school failing so badly really turn around and educate the students most in need? Will Chicago's new school reforms make a difference? And can Dorothy Gators make Hoop Dreams a reality for another group of Lady Commandos and help them be empowered rather than destroyed by their off-court struggles? Stay tuned. Marshall High School at the buzzer.